Picture this. A brilliant student raises her hand in a physics lecture. Instead of calling her, the professor calls on the young man 2 seats behind her for the third time. When she finally is able to speak, her idea is only met with a polite nod. Minutes later, a male classmate repeats her same point and receives enthusiastic praise. This isn't a scene from the 50s, this is happening today in our campuses. And if you think this is just about one professor having a bad day, then the research tells a very different story. We talk about education as the great equalizer. Universities market themselves as bastions of progressive thought and of merit based achievement. But here's what the data actually shows. In the Philippines, women make up 48% of undergraduate students in STEM fields, yet only hold 38% of faculty positions. That number even drops to 28% at the full professor level. But the discrimination isn't just in numbers, it's structural. It's embedded in what I call the invisible curriculum. The unwritten rules that dictate whose voice matters, whose research gets funded, and whose discomfort gets dismissed as sensitivity. When I analyzed institutional policies across Philippine universities, I found something striking. Only 23% had formal mechanisms to address gender based discrimination in academic evaluation. That means in 77% of cases, when a female faculty member experiences bias in research, allocation, promotion, or teaching evaluations, there's no clear path for accountability. Let me be specific about what this looks like in practice. Female professors receive consistently lower teaching evaluations than their male counterparts, even when teaching the same material with the same qualifications. Students use words like bossy and harsh in reviews of women while describing men with similar teaching styles as authoritative and challenging. Women faculty are also assigned more service work, committee memberships, student mentoring, administrative tasks, the invisible labor that doesn't count toward their promotion but fills their time. Meanwhile, their male colleagues have more hours to publish, to research, to build the credentials that actually advance careers. And when women do publish, their research is cited less frequently, reviewed more critically, and often attributed to male co authors. This isn't anecdote. This is a pattern. This is policy masquerading as culture. So, what do? Here's what evidence based change actually looks like. First, make the invisible visible. Mandate transparent evaluation criteria. Publish gender disaggregated data on promotions, grants, and teaching loads. You cannot address what you refuse to measure. Second, redistribute labor equitably. Create formal recognition and compensation for service work. Implement rotation systems for committee assignments, and stop expecting women to do the emotional labor of the institution for free. Third, establish real accountability. Not symbolic policies buried in handbooks, but enforceable mechanisms with trained investigators and meaningful consequences. Because policy without enforcement is just performance. Here's why this matters to all of us. Students being silenced in classrooms today are the researchers, the professors, and the leaders of tomorrow. When we tolerate discrimination in the academe, we don't just harm individuals, we impoverish the entire knowledge ecosystems. We lose discoveries, lose perspectives, and lose progress. The choice is ours. We can continue to claim universities are meritocracies while the evidence screams otherwise, or we can do the uncomfortable and work on reform. The invisible curriculum has taught us well. Now it's time to rewrite it.